I wanted to talk about a local interest story that I think is worthy of note. That's something that happened in Jacksonville on Saturday afternoon around 4 p.m. in the Sandalwood area of Jacksonville at a Walmart. There was actually a tent out registering voters, a pro-Trump tent registering voters. Now, there were 5 women working this tent, this pro-Trump registration tent. And what happens but a young man, 27-year-old Gregory Tim, pulls up in a rusty old brown Chevy van, and he apparently was waving at them and sort of acting kind of friendly, and then he accelerated the van into the tent. He basically tried to run them over with his van. Now, we're talking about 5 women, and this is a 27-year-old young man tries to run them over after he runs over all the tables and knocks everything over in the tent where he tried to ram them. And by the way, one of the ladies said she just barely got out of the way. So, I mean, he could have killed somebody very easily in this little stunt that he pulled. He gets out of his van, and he starts taking video of it, and he takes a moment to flip him off. Well, needless to say, he's been arrested, and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has arrested him, thankfully.
Was he sober?
You have to wonder, don't you, Pat George? But, when you look at it, let's look at what some of the leadership of the Democrat Party has told people. How about Nancy Pelosi, where she said, I don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, right? So she's encouraging uprisings. How about Hillary Clinton, where she said you cannot be civil with Republicans and Trump supporters. You cannot be civil. In fact, take your car and run them over, right? There's no room for civil discourse. There's no room for accepting that other people may not agree with your political opinions. Run them over. How about Mad Maxine Waters? Remember what she said? She said, push back. Tell them they're not welcome. Remember that? Push back. Wherever you see them in public, push back. Well, that's exactly what this young man in Jacksonville did. He took it to heart, just like Antifa's taken it to heart, and they've been active in Portland over the weekend. But just like these groups, these liberal groups, these socialist left groups, they all decided at some point along the way that violence is acceptable in political discourse. Now, you're not going to convert anybody through violence. In fact, you're going to turn a large part of America off. And there's something I always say a lot, and that's that you can't antagonize and persuade at the same time. So if you think violence should be a part of your political discourse, in my opinion, you've already lost the argument, and you're admitting it, and you're now switching over to violence.
Well, George Lopez, who is very anti-Trump. I don't know if you've heard any of his rhetoric.
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday on a show, he had said, they asked him the question, do you think Trump is going to be president? And he said, absolutely.
Well, I think he is. I think he is.
Be elected again. He said, absolutely. That's why I'm voting 9 times. but he has changed his tune.
We laugh, but that's sad because a lot of these people do vote more than once. I don't know that George Lopez will do it, but I mean, people like him will try to vote more than once. And of course, in a lot of counties, there are more registered voters than there are voters who are alive. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.